structures today. And first we will do the tumors of the heart. Now, when we're talking about tumors of the heart, the primary tumors of the heart are very rare. All right. About the most of the tumors that do involve the heart are those that are benign, and malignant tumors में एक होता है, that is also extremely rare. Metastatic tumors that metastasize to the heart are further rare, and they comprise about 5% of people who are dying with cancer. Now, जब tumors heart में metastasize होते हैं, तो they have this propensity that they involve the pericardium. Usually जो lung के या mediastinal structures के जो tumors होते हैं, वो आके आपके pericardium पे जाकर metastasize करते हैं. Usually infiltration or metastasis to the heart valves or that of the heart lumen is very rare. The most important primary tumors of the heart include myxomas, fibromas, there are lipomas, then there's papillary fibroblastomas, rhabdomyomas, and angiosarcomas. This is a list of tumors that involve the heart, and amongst these, myxomas are the most common and most commonly found. And fibromas and lipomas are usually very rare. Fibromas क्या होते हैं? Fibromas are tumors that arise from the connective tissue, and they are known as soft tissue tumors. Lipomas क्या होते हैं? Lipomas are tumors that arise from the adipose tissue. So they are usually present in the pericardial space या जो heart के आपके outer surface होती है, उसमें ज़्यादातर lipomas आपको मिल सकते हैं, rather than being inside the wall of the heart. Then there are papillary fibroblastomas. They are also extremely rare tumors, very small, mostly incidental findings होती हैं. And इनमें क्या होता है कि they have the ability के usually heart valves के around मिलते हैं. Rhabdomyomas, as the name suggests, are tumors that arise from the skeletal muscle fibers. And then there are angiosarcomas. Now, when we talk about cardiac myxomas, they are the most common primary tumor in the heart, and they are benign neoplasms and associated with clonal abnormalities of chromosome 12 and chromosome 17. Now, although they may arise in any of the four chambers of the heart, or rarely in the heart valves, mostly 90% are located in the atrium, and that is why their name is also called atrial myxomas. So usually cardiac myxomas को atrial myxomas भी कहते हैं, क्योंकि इनकी जो सबसे ज़्यादा preferred location है, that is the atrium. And when we compare left to right ratio, then it is around 4:1. That is, left atrium is more likely to be involved. Now, जो सबसे major clinical manifestation होती है of cardiac myxomas, that is basically the obstruction that it causes. Because cardiac myxomas क्या होते हैं? They're sort of like they have a pedunculated appearance, as you can see over here. They have a little bit of a pedunculated appearance, and every time the atrium is going to contract, this tumor has a propensity कि ये जाके आपके orifice के ऊपर stuck हो जाता है. And therefore, ball and valve mechanism के point of view से it causes obstruction. That is obstruction from blood entering from the atrium into the ventricle. Okay, that is one of the clinical manifestations. Then there could be embolization of the atrial myxoma. There could be syndrome of constitutional symptoms such as fever and malaise. Now, why atrial myxomas have this ability to cause fever and malaise is because they release cytokines interleukin-1, interleukin-6, which is a major mediator of the acute phase response. So this causes the fever and malaise. For diagnosis, echocardiography provides basically the diagnosis, and what happens is that surgical removal, although curative होती है, लेकिन उसका बहुत ज़्यादा significance इसलिए नहीं होता because there is always a chance for atrial myxomas to recur. So as you can see over here, this is a picture that is showing atrial myxomas can be sessile and they can be pedunculated as well. Okay, so either हो सकते हैं. Over here you can see there's a pedunculated appearance. Usually the fossa ovalis या फिर जो इंटर आपका septum होता है, atrial septum, उस पे से ये ज़्यादातर अराइज करते हैं एंड दे हैव एन एबिलिटी टू कॉज obstruction of the atrial orifice. Achha, 10% of the myxomas, why atrial myxomas are important is because 10% of the myxomas have an association with a familial syndrome, which is known as a Carney's complex. Carney complex में क्या होता है? It is an autosomal dominant disorder, and उसमें there are multiple cardiac myxomas. Along with multiple cardiac myxomas, extra cardiac myxomas भी मिलते हैं usually in the skin. ज़्यादातर skin में present होते हैं. There are pigmented lesions which are known as the lentiginous lesions, and endocrine overactivity होती है in the form of Cushing syndrome. All these things together give rise to the Carney's complex. Autosomal dominant disorder है, familial syndrome है. Therefore, any time that a patient presents with atrial myxoma, it is very necessary, it's very important to look for the extra cardiac signs as well. कि उसको एक्स्ट्रा कार्डियक साइंस है या नहीं, स्किन में पिगमेंटेशन तो नहीं है, उसको कुशिंग्स के कोई फीचर्स तो नहीं है, एंडोक्राइन ओवर एक्टिविटी दैट इज, एंड क्या कहते हैं, एक्स्ट्रा कार्डियक मिक्सोमास तो नहीं है उसको कहीं. इसका रीजन ये होता है देन इफ these extra cardiac symptoms are present, then they have to go ahead and look for these implications in other family members. The gene, which is PRCAR1 on chromosome 17, is mutated in most of the cases of Carney's complex, and some of the cases may also have abnormalities on the short arm of chromosome 2, band 16. Now, morphologically, if you look at the atrial myxomas, these tumors are usually single, and multiple myxomas usually rare. And the region of the fossa ovalis, as I told you, is of the atrial septum is the favored site for the origin of this tumor. The size that myxomas may range is from 1 centimeter or less than 1 centimeter to up to more than 10 centimeters. We've discussed before that they can be sessile. Sessile meaning कि इनका कोई stalk नहीं होगा, or they can be pedunculated, meaning they may be attached to the atrial wall with the stalk. They consist from very regular hard muscles to those of translucent gelatinous type. तो इसकी जो consistency है वो hard भी हो सकती है और consistency can be gelatinous as well, and its structure may just be papillary or villous in architecture too. Now that was grossly as we saw. Histologically जो हम देखते हैं तो myxomas जो है they composed of a very loose background. This is a histological picture that is showing you in atrial myxoma. It has a very loose background. Loose background क्यों है? क्योंकि इसमें connective tissue elements जो है वो बहुत ज़्यादा है, ठीक है, in the form of mucopolysaccharides. And acid mucopolysaccharides इसमें बहुत ज़्यादा होते हैं as a ground substance. Along with that, there are small stellate cells, which are the tumor cells that are present within the background, and scattered amongst this ground substance, you can see over here are sort of like glandular structures that, or vessel-like structures. ये जो open spaces नजर आ रही हैं, these are gland-like or vessel-like structures that are also scattered within the tumor. So this was just a histological appearance of an atrial myxoma. So just a brief overview. Atrial myxomas. Atrium में सबसे ज़्यादा cardiac myxomas are mostly present in the atrium. They can be sessile. They can be pedunculated. Pedunculated atrial myxomas have a propensity to cause ball and valve obstruction of the orifice, and they are 10% can be associated with Carney's complex. Therefore, it is always very important for any patient presenting with an atrial myxoma to be assessed for any extra cardiac signs and extra cardiac and any other endocrine overactivity. Morphologically or grossly, as I told you, they can be hard masses ranging from less than 1 centimeter to more than 10, or they could be just translucent or gelatinous structures. Histologically, there is an abundant acid mucopolysaccharide, because of which it has a very loose appearance. There is abundant ground substance, and there's going to be vessel-like or gland-like structures that are scattered within it. Then the next tumor that we'll talk about is the papillary fibroblastoma. Papillary fibroblastomas are very rare tumors. They're incidental findings. Usually, they do not show any signs or any symptoms. They're like sea anemone-like structures. Sea anemone किस तरह के होते हैं? They have a very hair-like process or a very furry, fuzzy kind of a morphological appearance. And mostly ये tumors जो होते हैं, they're so incidental or they're so silent that they may just be found on autopsy. The only clinical importance they have is that they might embolize into distal sites. They resemble the much smaller excrescences that are found on the aortic valve in older patients. Here, as the patients grow old, as I told you in valvular heart disease, what used to happen was that calcifications form होना शुरू हो जाती थी, and most of these tumors they resemble those aortic calcifications. Now, if we look at their morphology, they have a distinct cluster of hair-like projections and up to 1 centimeter in length and several centimeters in diameter. So usually it is more broad and the finger-like extensions are usually short up to 1 centimeter in length. Histologically, they're composed of a myxoid connective tissue. As you can see over here, they have a very hair-like appearance or a very villous kind of an appearance with hair-like projections. The center of these projections have a myxoid connective tissue, which is also abundant in mucopolysaccharide, but along with that, it also has elastic fibers. That is why it is known as fibroelastoma. The overall covering of this tumor, ये जो outside external covering है, ये endothelium से होती है. Okay, so it has the endothelial lining over it. Histologically, again, I'll tell you, morphologically, it has hair-like projections which range up to 1 centimeter in length. Then there's going to be the core. Core में acid mucopolysaccharides होते हैं. Again, connective tissue material that has increased in amount. But along with the mucopolysaccharides, there's going to be presence of elastic fibers. And the overall tumor has a covering of the endothelium. Then the next tumor that we'll discuss is rhabdomyoma. Rhabdomyomas are basically the most common family tumors in infants and the children. Okay? You have to remember this thing that बच्चों में सबसे ज़्यादा common tumor heart में is rhabdomyoma, and they're usually frequently discovered in the first years of life because of obstruction of a valvular orifice or a cardiac chamber. The cardiac rhabdomyomas are often associated with tuberous sclerosis. Now, they often regress spontaneously, and therefore there's this debate whether they're even true neoplasms as well, whether they are true neoplasms or are they just hematomas. Nonetheless, they're just present in the first years of life. Morphologically, if you see, they are small gray-white masses of myocardium, and they're basically several centimeters in diameter. They can be multiple in numbers and they involve the ventricles preferentially, and they usually protrude within the chamber. So they're present in the heart wall. Rhabdomyomas arise करते हैं heart के wall में से, and they have a propensity that they grow into the heart chamber or the heart lumen. They have preference for the ventricles. Now, histologically, अगर आप देखें, they're composed of bizarre large myocytes, and basically myocytes जो होते हैं histologically, जब भी कहीं पे भी myocyte होगा, it has a very pink cytoplasm, very abundant cytoplasm. Central nucleus होता है, it's a polygonal shaped cell. Rhabdomyomas में क्या होता है कि जो cytoplasm, जो abundant cytoplasm होता है, वो clear होना शुरू हो जाता है and it starts to form bands. ठीक है, तो eventually उसकी appearance इस तरह की हो जाती है. Rhabdomyomas in the heart, they're called the cells that form the rhabdomyoma are called the spider cells, because if you see over here, cytoplasm क्या हो गया है, strands में चले गए. ठीक है, this is a nucleus और इसका cytoplasm पतले पतले strands बना रही है, just like a spider web. So these cells are known as the spider cells. ठीक है, so the parents of spider web, they take an appearance of a spider web. The cytoplasm forms strands, and the nucleus is usually present in the center. Cells, as I told you, are large. They are somewhat polygonal in shape, and this is basically its histological appearance. So this was about rhabdomyoma. These were the tumors of the heart. Amongst all the tumors, the cardiac meningomas are the most important. And basically, उसमें आपको जो है क्या कहते हैं, what you have to remember are 2-3 points. One regarding its association with Carney complex, one about its morphological appearance, what it is, what symptoms does it cause, and how can you diagnose it. And thirdly, जो है, what is important to know about cardiac myxomas is that they have a propensity to recur. And obviously, the most important thing, cardiac myxomas are benign tumors of the heart. Malignant tumors of the heart में एक tumor होता है, that is the angiosarcoma. We'll discuss angiosarcoma in vascular tumors, so you can just relate with that. Now we'll move on to vascular tumors. Now, vascular tumors are basically tumors that are arising from the vessels, not just the blood vessels, but also those tumors that are arising from the lymphatics. Okay, so lymphatics and blood vessels, दोनों में से जो भी tumors arise होंगे, they will come under the heading of vascular tumors. Now, vascular tumors, the distinction between the benign and malignant tumors of the vessels is very difficult, because देखो जहाँ पे भी कोई ट्यूमर बनता है या कोई न्यूप्लाज्म होता है, वो क्या करता है कि वो अपना ही सेल को मल्टीप्लाई करना शुरू कर देता है. ठीक है, whatever the parent cell is going to start multiplying, and is going to multiply in so quickly that उसकी जो morphology होगी या जो उसके अपने characteristics होंगे वो completely develop नहीं होंगे. It's going to be an abnormal cell which is multiplying. Blood vessel tumors में क्या होता है? There is the blood vessel tumors can arise either from the endothelial cells. Endothelial cells कहाँ होते हैं? Vessel के lumen को line कर रहे होते हैं, या वो arise हो सकता है from the supporting structures जो pericytes होते हैं या जो glomus bodies होती हैं जो कि vessels के around present होती हैं, या जो myoepithelial cells present होते हैं vessels के around, उनमें से develop कर सकता है. तो इसमें प्रॉब्लम क्या होती है कि ब्लड वेसल ट्यूमर्स ज़्यादातर ब्लड वेसल्स ही फॉर्म करते हैं. They take the shape of bizarre or just increasing number of blood vessels. So sometimes it is very difficult to differentiate whether this tumor is benign or whether it is malignant. और दूसरी चीज़ ये होती है कि जहाँ जहाँ ब्लड वेसल्स होती हैं उसको आप, अगर आप बॉडी को इमेजिन करो, तो जो आपका पूरा वैस्कुलर ट्री है वो इतना ज़्यादा इंटर कनेक्टेड है, वो इतना इंटरमिंगल्ड है एक दूसरे से, एंड देयर सो मेनी वेसल्स इन योर बॉडी, इंक्लूडिंग ऑल द वेन्स, वेन्यूल्स, आर्टरीज, इतनी सारी आपकी वेसल्स होती हैं बॉडी में कि जब वो proliferate कर रहा होता है तो it does not really have a very distinct border, बड़ी circumscribed सा उसका border नहीं होता. It has a very infiltrative or a very vague border, so it is difficult to tell कि ये क्या malignant है, surrounding structures में invade कर रहा है, या ये benign ही है और अपनी native vessels के साथ connect कर रहा है. So it's difficult to differentiate, histologically we're talking about, it's difficult to differentiate whether the tumor is benign or malignant. However, the rule of thumbs are that benign tumors usually produce obvious vascular channels. Okay? These vascular channels are filled with blood cells, or if there are lymphatic channels, they'll be filled with lymph, and they are lined by normal appearing endothelial cells. तो proliferation आपकी blood vessels की हो रही होगी, लेकिन एक तो आपको लगेगा कि distinct vascular channels बन रहे हैं, and every vascular channel is lined by endothelial cells which are very normal looking. उन endothelial cells में कोई abnormality नहीं आपको नजर आ रही होगी. Then the malignant tumors, as compared to benign, are more cellular. They show cytological atypia. For blood vessel tumors, cytological atypia and atypical mitotic figures are very, very important. ठीक है, दो key features हैं to differentiate benign from malignant. Again, I'm repeating. benign vascular tumors को malignant से differentiate करने के लिए atypical mitotic figures and cytological atypia are very important. Now, in malignant tumors, well-organized vessels जो है वो form नहीं होती, although आपको slit-like या vascular spaces जैसी जगहें नजर आती हैं, but not well-organized. Now, sometimes the malignant tumors can be so poorly differentiated, and the vascular channels are so thin and slit-like that it is difficult to identify whether ये इसका origin blood vessel से ही है या नहीं. And for that हम एक marker लगाते हैं, which is an endothelial specific marker, CD31 or von Willebrand's factor. Whenever we apply this marker in our histology labs, and it highlights the tumor cells, it means that the origin was from ब्लड वेसल्स या फिर इसका जो प्रिकर्सर है वो एंडोथेलियल सेल है एंड दे कैन बी दैट पोरली डिफरेंशिएटेड. Now, when we talk about the classification, अच्छा वैस्कुलर ट्यूमर्स में एक चीज़ है वो जो हमेशा याद रखना कि वैस्कुलर ट्यूमर्स की जब हम क्लासिफिकेशन कर रहे होते हैं तो हम इसमें इंक्लूड करते हैं सर्टेन डेवलपमेंटल और एक्वायर्ड डिसऑर्डर्स which resemble tumor, ठीक है, which are tumor like but not true neoplasm. सही है. Vascular tumors की classification, again I am repeating, जब when we are classifying the vascular tumors between benign, इसके three basically categories होती हैं, not just benign and malignant, we divide them into three categories: benign, intermediate and malignant. अब benign tumors के साथ साथ हम वो disorders भी discuss करते हैं which are developmental or acquired. They are tumor-like clinically, however, there are not true neoplasms. So when we're talking about benign tumors of the vessel include hemangiomas, which can further subdivide it into capillary. This is not capillary, this is capillary, sorry. Capillary type, cavernous type, and pyogenic granuloma. Then there are lymphangiomas. Lymphangiomas are those tumors, vascular tumors that are arising from the lymphatics. They can be simple capillary type or they can be cavernous type. Then we have, then we have the glomus tumor. Glomus tumor is a tumor that arises from the glomus body. That is basically जो supporting structure होता है blood vessel का, उधर से arise हो रहा होता है. And then there are vascular ectasias. Now these vascular ectasias are the ones I was talking about, which are tumor-like clinically. However, they are not true neoplasms. इसमें nevus flavus आता है, the spider telangiectasias and Osler-Weber-Rendorf disease. Then there are reactive vascular proliferations as well. These reactive vascular proliferations are found most commonly in granulation tissues. सही है, जहाँ पे भी granulation tissue बनेगा वो healing हो रही होगी, neovascular formation वहाँ पर चल रही होगी. Then intermediate tumors include Kaposi sarcoma, hemangioendothelioma, and malignant tumors include angiosarcoma. Now we'll quickly go over, we'll start with the vascular ectasia since these are not true neoplasms. These are basically tumor-like conditions. Vascular ectasia जो actual term है ना, ectasia का मतलब होता है dilatation, ठीक है, local dilatation of a pre-existing vessel or pre-existing structure, any structure. Ectasia is just a dilatation, whereas telangiectasia is basically a permanent dilatation of small vessels, and they're usually found in the mucous membrane or skin. Okay? Telangiectasias are permanent dilatation of small capillaries or small arterioles, and they are present usually in the skin and in the mucous membranes. Now, when we're talking about vascular ectasias, first we'll discuss the nevus flammus. Nevus flammus क्या होता है? This is basically, in other words or simpler words, you can call it as a birthmark. Okay? It is the most common form of ectasia, and it is a flat lesion which is present on the, usually found on the head and neck, and it is light pink or deep purple in color. Histologically, there is only vascular dilatation, and nevus flammus जो होता है ना usually small होता है. ये जो मैंने picture लगाई है, this is one of the variants of nevus flammus which is called as the porcine stain, and that is larger in size. However, nevus flammus itself बहुत छोटे size का होता है. I'm sure you've seen in small babies, they usually have a red mark or a red patch when they're born, and as they grow, it eventually regresses, and sometimes it can even stay for life as a birthmark. This is a porcine stain, which is a variant of nevus flammus, and this is usually larger in size and propensity for the head and neck. Then there are spider telangiectasias. Now these are also non-neoplastic vascular lesions. इसको spider telangiectasia इसलिए कहते हैं because grossly या फिर जो clinically it looks like a spider. Because होता क्या है कि आपकी जो small capillary, I'm sure this is also you've seen in a lot of people, कि they have these पतली बिल्कुल बारीक उनके capillaries हैं which are dilated, as you can see over here, and they have a central pore. So small arterioles or capillaries are dilated with a central pore resembling a body of a spider and then the legs of a spider. That is why they're known as spider telangiectasias. हाइपोएस्ट्रोजेनिक सिचुएशंस या कंडीशंस में जो है ये ज़्यादातर फॉर्म होते हैं and therefore they are most likely to be seen they can be seen in liver cirrhosis or they can be seen in states such as pregnancy. So one thing that pyrotendinopathies have is that they can blanch on pressure. Now the third thing is hereditary hemorrhagic telangiectasias. They are basically autosomal dominant disorders, and they're also dilatation of capillaries and veins. The only thing that is to be noted in this form of telangiectasia is that they are widely distributed over the skin. They can even be present in respiratory tracts, in the nasal tract, GI, and they can give rise to severe hemorrhage. Yeah, so this is somewhat a life-threatening condition where if bleeding occurs in one of these telangiectasias, then it can be life-threatening. Then there's bacillary angiomatosis, which again is a reactive vascular proliferation. This is not a true neoplasm. It is caused by gram-negative bacilli. Basically, होता क्या है कि infection by gram-negative bacilli of the Bartonella family, they have this thing that what it does is कि ये endothelial cells में hypoxia factor 1 को जो है वो increase करते हैं, as a result of which vascular endothelial growth factor is induced. जब vascular endothelial growth factor induced होता है, it causes a reactive sort of a vascular proliferation. It is not basically a neoplasm, it is just an infection जिसके अंदर vascular endothelial growth factor increase हो रहा है, जिसकी वजह से आपकी vessel proliferate कर रही है. It is an opportunistic infection and it is usually seen in immunocompromised individuals. This is just basically यहाँ पे inflammatory cells हैं आपके with vessels that are proliferating, and when they're proliferating quickly, they're going to be of different sizes and shapes. Then we have the benign tumors. Benign tumors में सबसे common we have hemangiomas. Hemangiomas में क्या होता है? In simple words, hemangiomas is just increase in the number of normal or abnormal blood vessels that are filled with blood. They are difficult to distinguish from vascular malformations. Now, 7% of these benign tumors are present in infancy and childhood, and they usually regress spontaneously. However, at times they have to be surgically removed. This is just a picture showing you hemangiomas morphologically. एंड हिस्टोलॉजिकली अगर देखें, मैंने दो तरह के बताए थे, कैपिलरी हिमैंजियोमा हो सकते हैं और कवर्नस हो सकते हैं. हमेशा रखो कैपिलरी हिमैंजियोमास या कैपिलरी लिम्फैंजियोमास में क्या होगा, जो वेसल्स प्रोलिफरेट कर रही होंगी वो कैपिलरी साइज होंगी, मीनिंग उनका ल्यूमेन बहुत छोटा होगा, एज यू कैन सी ओवर हियर. Whereas cavernous hemangiomas में क्या होता है, the lumen is dilated and large vascular spaces are seen with pools of blood. Okay, this is the difference between capillary and cavernous hemangiomas. Then फिर एक चीज होती है pyogenic granuloma. Pyogenic granuloma is basically nothing. It is also capillary. इस तरह की proliferation होती है, capillary size proliferation. The only reason it's called a pyogenic granuloma is because over its surface it's got a thick granulation tissue or a thick, why it is known as pyogenic granuloma. Lymphangiomas, as I told you about hemangiomas, they can be of capillary type and they can be of cavernous type. जो simple capillary type lymphangiomas होते हैं, अच्छा lymphangioma और hemangiomas का main difference क्या है? Main difference ये है that the vascular spaces that are proliferating in a hemangioma will have blood, whereas those channels that are proliferating in a lymphangioma will have a pink milkish material and it will also have lymphoid tissue in its surrounding. ठीक है, ये main difference है दोनों का. The simple capillary hemangiomas जो हैं ये head and neck में common होते हैं या axillary subcutaneous tissue में होते हैं, and usually they are slightly elevated about 1 to 2 centimeter in diameter. Whereas cavernous lymphangiomas, which are also called as the cystic hygromas, are lesions that are found in the neck or the axilla of children, and rarely they can occur in the retroperitoneum as well. Cavernous hemangiomas के साथ क्या प्रॉब्लम होती है, they can go up to large size, up to around 15 centimeter in size, and they comprise of massively enlarged or massively dilated lymphatic channels. The lined by endothelial cells, क्योंकि lymphatic channels की भी lining endothelial cells की होती है. However, the material that is going to be present in the lumen is going to be proteinaceous material that is pink in color, and the surrounding tissue will have lymphoid aggregates. Then there's glomus tumor or the glomangioma. Glomus tumors are benign and they're very painful tumors. They're basically arising from the smooth muscle cells of the glomus body. Glomus body क्या करती है? Glomus body present होती है आपकी specialized atriovenous structures होते हैं that helps in thermoregulation, and this is where the tumor arises from. They're most commonly found in the distal portion of the digits, especially under the fingernails. As you can see over here, this is a glomus tumor, and this is found in the digits most commonly. This is a histological picture of glomus tumor. इसमें normally आपकी blood vessels पड़ी हुई हैं. Blood vessels के बाहर यहाँ पे glomus body होती है, ठीक है? Outside the blood vessel, and this is the cell that is proliferating. हर vessel के बाहर जो भी glomus body है, वो proliferate कर रही है, and that is what forms the glomus tumor. Then the intermediate tumors. The intermediate tumor includes Kaposi sarcoma. It is a tumor that is very commonly found in patients with AIDS. However, 4 forms of Kaposi are recognized. एक classic form होती है Kaposi की. As you can see, I've written 4 forms. Classic form में क्या होता है? Classic form is usually very indolent in nature, and it is usually something that can even go asymptomatic. ठीक है? It is a very जिसको कहते हैं ना एक मासूम type of Kaposi sarcoma समझ लो. The classic type is a basic type. It can be asymptomatic in individuals, or it may show mild signs or symptoms. Endemic African form होती है. Endemic African form indolent भी हो सकती है और aggressive भी हो सकती है. But इसके अंदर इसका जो main feature है वो ये है कि it is usually found in patients who are less than 40 years of age, and it is usually found in areas of Africa. ट्रांसप्लांट एसोसिएटेड होती है. ट्रांसप्लांट एसोसिएटेड क्यों होती है? क्योंकि ट्रांसप्लांट एसोसिएटेड के जो पेशेंट्स होते हैं उनको इम्यूनोसप्रेशन में रखते हैं. बिकॉज ऑफ इम्यूनोसप्रेशन दे माइट बी an opportunistic infection by herpes virus 8, which might lead to the formation of Kaposi sarcoma. And most important is AIDS associated. तो AIDS का बहुत एक जो highlighting वो है ना sign is Kaposi sarcoma. Sometimes patient presents with Kaposi sarcoma and then therefore they are diagnosed with AIDS. They're all associated with human herpes virus 8, which is transmitted by oral secretions, cutaneous exposure, and sexually transmitted. Now, in classic form, cutaneous lesions they pass through 3 stages. Morphologically, अगर हम Kaposi's को देखते हैं, तो उसमें एक patch stage होती है, plaque stage होती है, and nodular stage होती है. Now, patches का मतलब क्या होता है कि skin पे सिर्फ patches होंगे. At this time, only the blood vessels have started to proliferate. ठीक है? आपके skin के नीचे blood vessels proliferate करना शुरू कर देती है. Plaque stage में क्या होता है? The lesions become slightly raised. इसका मतलब ये होता है कि blood vessels तो proliferate कर रही हैं, लेकिन blood vessels के साथ साथ जो उनके surrounding stroma है, उसमें कुछ tumor cells have started to multiply. And then it goes on to the nodular stage. Nodular stage में क्या होता है? The plump cells that were multiplying around the blood vessels have become their multiplication has become so severe कि उन्होंने सारी blood vessels को slit like कर दिया है, and eventually the tumor becomes a very spindle cell kind of a tumor, जिसमें आपकी over here you can see these are the blood vessels. These have become slit like, and the tumor cells which are over here, right here, have started to multiply so much that they've made the vessels become slit-like or thin-walled. This is all about Kaposi's sarcoma. Then we'll discuss malignant tumors में angiosarcoma. Angiosarcomas are basically malignant endothelial neoplasms, and they can range histologically from well-differentiated to very poorly differentiated lesions. So they can either at times just look like hemangiomas, कि आपको लगेगा सिर्फ blood vessels proliferate कर रही हैं, और at times you will see angiosarcomas and you will think कि ये tumor की origin क्या है, because वो इतने poorly differentiated हो जाते हैं. So now basically it is tumor of the older adults, and it can involve the skin, it can involve soft tissue. Breast is one of the common sites, especially those breasts which have undergone radiation because of breast carcinoma, and it can also be seen in the liver. Hepatic angiosarcomas जो है, they're usually associated with arsenic exposure, thoratrust exposure. Thoratrust जो था वो पहले यूज होता था एज अ कॉन्ट्रास्ट एजेंट, अब तो उसकी वैल्यू नहीं है. और those workers who work in the plastic industry and are exposed to PVC. Angiosarcomas can also arise in the setting of lymphedema. Lymphedema कब होता है? जब आप ज़्यादातर अगर breast surgery के बाद you must have seen patients जिनकी breast surgery के बाद जब axilla में से lymph nodes remove कर देते हैं, they have usually have a swollen arm, and because lymphatic drainage नहीं सही से हो पाती, this is called lymphedema. That means lymph is just stationary and it's going to stay in the connective tissue or the soft tissue where it is present. So these are also sites that can are precursors or sites where angiosarcoma may arise, and they can, as I told you, be induced by radiation as well. This is a picture, as you can see over here. यहाँ पर जो है ये आपका, this is a tumor of the bone, and here you can see vascular spaces, vascular channels. The only thing that is very important in angiosarcoma is that the cells, the endothelial cells that are multiplying, are going to have atypical mitotic figures, and they will be highly atypical in nature. That means कि अपने normal endothelial cells से इनमें atypia जो होगा वो बहुत ज़्यादा होगा. They can even look just like a hemangioma, and at times आपको जो है differentiate करने में बहुत मुश्किल होती है, but you have to really focus on the atypia and the endothelial cells to come to a diagnosis. As I told you, ज़्यादातर malignant tumors जो होते हैं उनकी diagnosis if they're locally infiltrated or metastasizing different sites. But local infiltration for vascular tumors is not one of the features for diagnosing malignancy. Reason being कि benign tumors भी जो है वो अपने आसपास की vessels से interconnected होते हैं, and they give an appearance as if they are locally infiltrated, or they're infiltrating into the surrounding tissues. This is a picture, high power view, as you can see. यहाँ पर कुछ vascular channel type structure बना हुआ है, लेकिन it's not a well formed vessel. And you see over here the cells, they have a prominent nucleoli, the cells are from each other, they're quite pleomorphic. Mitotic figures, as you can see over here, there's a mitotic figure, and there's extravasation of red blood cells. That means vessel के बाहर भी red blood cells पड़े हुए हैं. So that's about it regarding the vascular and the cardiac tumors. In case there's any question, you guys are free to ask. Any questions? No? I hope everyone is away.